Hey, I wanted to talk to you about tinnitus. Tinnitus seems epidemic at the moment. I'm talking to so many people who have tinnitus, especially as a result of long COVID. And so tinnitus is basically any kind of repetitive sound in your ear when there's no sound happening. So it can be ringing, that's the most common or way that people describe it, as ringing in the ears, but it can be whooshing, it can be clicking, it can be sizzling, buzzing, all different kinds of noises. And sometimes even what's interesting is it has to do with quite often damage to the inner ear, maybe from a sinus infection, maybe from PTSD. Apparently with PTSD, it can tighten up all the bones in your skull, which can cause, some compression of your inner ear. Vitamin B12 deficiencies can also cause tinnitus. So there's a ton of different reasons to have it, and it seems like so many people have it. So what I would suggest, the two things that I notice that have been most effective for the people I know with tinnitus is one, acupuncture seems really great at kind of relieving that tension in the ear. Tinnitus can also come from stress. It can come from chemotherapy. It can come from diuretics. If you have a large dose of diuretics where your body has to get rid of water very quickly, all of those things can cause tinnitus. So look into acupuncture. That I would say would be like the number one way to reduce that sort of whooshing, clicking, whatever the sound is in your ear. That can make it impossible to sleep sometimes, or possible to think properly or hear other things in your life. It can be a stressful thing. And I did acupuncture it took a couple of months of acupuncture, but it completely resolved it. It went away. And every successive time I had acupuncture, it got less and less. So I do recommend it. The other thing I would also recommend would be craniosacral therapy. And in craniosacral therapy or osteopathy, the person will be very, very gently kind of manipulating or moving, in another way, the bones in your skull. And sometimes just moving them around, and it's not even really moving, but kind of shifting them. Sometimes moving them around just a little bit will release enough pressure from your ears that the tinnitus will go away. And I can't say, again, whether that would happen right away, on one session, or whether you would need repeated sessions, but it would be worth looking into. The other thing is, if you feel like your tinnitus is caused by an ear infection, if you warm a little bit of olive oil, fresh garlic, and oregano, or if you don't have fresh oregano, a bottle of oil of oregano, and you warm it very, very gently, but in a saucepan, let it cool, and you can put drops of it in your ear. I would say 1 to 2 drops at a time, and just put your head on one side, put the drops in your ear, let them sit for a little while, and then kind of flip your ear over and just let it drain out. That will both soften and remove if you have earwax, but it will also get rid of any ear infection. You can do it several times a day. It also works. That oil also works well for children. 66% of children apparently will occasionally get tinnitus, and it can be connected to hearing loss. Tinnitus can also be an age-related problem for people. So if you have age-related hearing loss, tinnitus can be a part of it. And if that's the case, it seems that Gingko biloba can work, and also zinc.